Hi, I'm Susan with Kiwi Lane Designs. A lot of scrapbookers are under the impression that you need really fancy tools and be up to date on the latest techniques in order to create a really cute layout. What I'm going to show you today is that with some basic tools and some simple tips and techniques, you can be well on your way to create a beautiful layout. To start with, all you're going to need is some paper, and warning of paper addictions. I'm talking from experience here. Buy what you use and use what you buy. On top of that, you're going to need a trimmer, and as you can see, I've had mine for a long time. Some designer templates, which you can get at kiwilanedesigns.etsy.com. And I wanted to show you how that we put them on this big hook like this. And it's so great because you can just grab them and go to a crop night. A pencil for tracing, scissors for cutting, and some adhesive. And of course your pictures. That is all you really need. But on top of that, if you would like, you can get some brads and buttons to embellish your page with. And if you use flowers, you can use flowers, but the accessory designer templates kind of make up for the flowers. And then we like to ink, so if you want to get some ink and a dauber, that adds to your page as well. But other than that, this is all you need. You don't need some big tools or anything like that. You can create a beautiful layout just by using this. Talk to you about some tracing and cutting techniques that we do. And I have this already laid out, and this is a layout that Debbie created on the designer template video. Usually when we put one over here, we like to balance our pages. So I'm going to go ahead and take this one out, and I'm going to add the same flower over here. And like she talked about, we like to tuck in and out, and you could do it on the top if you'd like, or you could tuck it behind, over, and on top. And I'm also going to go ahead, because that's bigger, I'm going to pull this down, and that's one of the things I wanted to talk to you about, is that when you can pull these up or down to fit your needs. So for instance, if this was down and this is about this much over the paper, what we're going to do is we're just going to take our paper and we're going to put it on here, but we're going to, hope you can see this, we're going to go ahead and move it out so that it's not all the way on the paper, but that it's over the paper like that. I want to trace it. And cut it. And by doing that, we already have the other side, and we're going to just go ahead and erase that off. And then we're going to go ahead and trim it. And as you can see on this side, the other side of that same template is, it's the other side. I also didn't want the whole thing. I moved it in just slightly so it fit on my page just a little bit better. So what I'm going to do is take about that much off as well. So I'm going to lay it on here. Make a mark a little bit in, and do a straight cut straight down. And then we're going to go ahead and place this one and remove the designer template and put it in its place. And we're going to do that with every piece that we have. The other thing I wanted to show you was when we're tucking behind, we're not using the whole thing. So we're going to go ahead and grab the paper that we're going to be using. We're going to place it down. We need about those 4. And then we're just going to go ahead and trace that as well. And we'll do the same thing. We're going to go ahead and cut it. And when we're done, we have this. And it just fits right behind and over, like that. And we're going to go ahead and replace all the other pieces, which are already cut out, and I'm going to show you the finished product. Now that we have all the papers cut out using our designer templates and laid out where we want, I'm going to show you just some simple things. Now, if you wanted to see how this layout was designed, I really would recommend that you watch Debbie as she created this page, and that was on the Scrapbooking with Designer Templates, and it's so easy. But the one trick that we did want to show you is just kind of go over this again, that you can either use this as a whole, or again, it can be tucked in over and under, and it's very simple. See how that just goes in there. Now I'm going to show you some simple techniques that we use when we're inking. Inking is a preference, and you don't necessarily have to do it, but we like to do it, and we think that it does add an extra touch to your page. It helps define between patterns that you're using on your page. And what you're going to do is just take your dauber and you're going to go at an angle and just go along the edges of your pages. And I'm using the Vintage Photo ink by Tim Holtz. I'm going to do all the edges. I don't have to do this side because it's going to be covered by this strip. And you're going to go ahead and do that with every piece on the page. Make sure that's good. Now the other way you can ink, and I occasionally do it, and I do it on my photo mats, but you're just going to go ahead and you're going to take a photo mat and you just rub it along the edge. And if you can see that, it just kind of gives it a strip look with the ink and a little bit rougher look than with the dauber. The dauber is a softer look, so I like to do that on the other parts of my elements on my page, but I do cheat every once in a while and use my ink pad to do that. And that's how you ink. As you can see, we already have an adorable page happening here with just the patterns that we used and the designer templates that we used as well. And you can add some simple embellishments like these brads at the ends here. And then you can either add a flower or some sort, or I was just going to add these little white, the bigger white brads in the middle of there. And then we can add a title across here. So this is your basic layout, and you just need to add some photos, and you didn't have to use many embellishments, which do save you money if you just use papers and the designer templates, and you'll get an adorable layout just by doing that. The last thing I wanted to talk to you today was about titles, and there's a lot of things you can use on titles if you prefer a title on your page, which we do. You can use rub-on stickers. These are colored chipboards, which save you time so you don't have to paint them. There's thickers and grunge board. So if you have grunge board that you need to cover, I wanted to show you some things that you can do with it. You can either ink them, if you have ink, which you would just take your pad and ink it. You can paint it, and you just kind of paint it over it. Your hands might get a little dirty, but you can always wash those or keep some hand wipes really easily in reach when you're scrapbooking, and then you don't have to get up and always go and wash your hands. Once you have it all painted, you can either leave it like this, but I wanted to show you something else that we have discovered here at Kiwi Lane. And if you like the glitter look, what you do is just make sure it has a fresh wet coat on it. You're going to lay some glitter out on your paper. You're just going to go ahead and daub that in there. Get the excess off, and there you go. You get a glittered look, and you just had to use the wet paint to do it. There are other ways that you can get this glitter look too. You can use this spray adhesive, and this one already is colored chipboard, but you're going to go ahead and you're going to spray it. Then what you're going to do is pick it up and do the same thing. You're going to dab it right into your glitter, and you get a glittered look by doing it that way. So you can either do it with wet paint, or you can get the spray adhesive and just paint it, spray it, and do it the same way as well. Either way works, and you can tell I have some already glittered here. And you don't have to glitter it, but I like glitter. It adds a little shimmer to your page. And then you would add your title to your page as well. These are just some of the tips that we wanted to share with you today that we use often here at Kiwi Lane. And if you're already a scrapbooker, you're probably familiar with most of them. But if you're a beginning scrapbooker, we just wanted to show you that it's really easy, that you only need some basic tools to get started, that you don't need to go out and buy a lot, even though a lot of people feel that to start scrapbooking you have to spend a lot of money. It's not so. With these designer templates, you'll be able to create a beautiful layout, and maybe with some extra embellishments here and there if you decide that you want to. That's all you need. And we hope that you have fun designing a page, and leave us a comment, share with us what you do, and we'll see you soon.